On the investigation, the league into the Patriots.
Well, thanks, Giardi. Roger Goodell said on Wednesday there's no timetable for the league to wrap this up, but they've basically done all the interviews. So you would think there's a chance it is done this week. And really, this is a discussion about motive because the facts are not in dispute. The Patriots did it. They've said they did it. They had one of their videographers set up a tripod in front of Bengals scouts in the press box, left it running, and filmed the Bengals sideline for about 8 minutes. The contention from the Patriots is that no football people had any knowledge of this. Meanwhile, the Bengals do have a copy of that tape. They are furious. They would like the Patriots punished. As far as possible punishments, Rich, I'm told all options are on the table, including a potential hefty fine, but no decision has been made on that yet.
All right, Ian, thanks very much for waiting on a decision on a handful of players prior to the game going. We know Juju's out for tonight. We expect to see James Conner, Derrick Henry, and Josh Jacobs. Good luck to the top 10 for Devin Bush, trading for Minkah Fitzpatrick, who, again, we'll hear from later on this show. And the defense with T.J. Watt and the rest of that crew, they have just been superb. They're 8-5. They're 8-5. Yeah. And with a quarterback from Sanford that I think Al and Chris and the crew are tonight going to have to spend a lot of time explaining to people who might not have seen him when he was on Sunday Night Football early in the season against the Chargers. There's going to be a lot of just describing how this all has been set up. What about tonight, though, Steve? Can they keep this thing going?
Yeah, I mean, when you have this, and it's a great defense. You know, when they had a dynasty in the 70s, they had a great defense, and they're building that up again. They lead the league in sacks. They lead the league in takeaways. When you take the ball away 33 times, you're creating some short fields for these young quarterbacks, whether it's Mason Rudolph or Duck over there. And now here's the thing. Here's what I'm watching for tonight against the Bills, second-ranked scoring defense. Duck is going to get tested tonight because, oh, yeah, he's 3-0. He's perfect right now, right? A little bit like Kyle Allen, your guy over there, who started off 4-0 for Carolina, and it's like, all right, we got our guy. And then all of a sudden reality sets in, and he's going to show that he's a rookie. And it's going to be, against a great defense tonight. We'll see if Duck can continue this great play or if reality shows up tonight.
It's one of those teams where you just look at them and you go, wow, how can it keep going? They're just not doing anything on offense. But their defense has been so good, as we've shown, it's so dominant that I don't know if it keeps going. But I love the matchup here because this is two really good defensive football teams. You have to believe it's going to be a low-scoring game. The offenses on both teams are in the 20s in terms of scoring points. So I think it's a great matchup. We're going to keep this low-scoring. We're going to need just a few plays here or there that could be the difference in this game. And I like that for Pittsburgh. I still like Buffalo. I think they're the better football team. But I like the way this matchup sets up for the possibility of the Steelers to keep this thing going.
And I like Buffalo, too, as a better football team. But, Coach, the defense in Pittsburgh and what Coach Tomlin has done is incredible. Yep. And I can't help but think, boy, what if they would have had Ben Roethlisberger right now? Yep. Oh, my God, that team would be on fire. But it'll be a tough game today.
Well, and I think Minkah, we talk all about what he's done, but this team has been good at getting sacks and doing things in the past. What they haven't been great at is on the back end, taking the ball away. He has been a difference maker with a good defense that was coming into this year.
And Joe Hayden's been terrific, too, over the last couple of weeks. And when they acquired Fitzpatrick, it was week 4. Like, what are they doing? Coughing up a 1 for next year for a team that doesn't have Big Ben. And they were trying to figure out what's like without Brown and Bell. Why are they doing it? They're 8-5 right now. And the plays that Hodges is making is usually to James Washington, who's been terrific
incredible
as well.
Incredible.
He's making some big plays. There's the Patcherel coming to today's game.
No, it's not.
You know what?
It's a nice jacket.
That is a coat. That's an amazing Technicolor Patcherel dream coat. Let's go on location to Kay Adams.
Thank you so much, Rich. Guys, we are here. The snow is coming down in full force. Good enough for a good old snowball. These are my Midwestern skills. I don't have catching skills in mittens. So we got Steve Smith Sr., William McGinnis here, and we've got lots to talk about. Drew Lock, don't look now, undefeated as a starter. Yes. This offense is looking better of late.
First of all, I hate to say it, but you can't ignore how this offense has looked with Drew Lock in charge. Prior to Drew Lock getting there, this offense, word of the day, has looked dilapidated. It has not looked very good, run down, not looking like the offense that we have grown to love with a Joe Flacco. He played in this offense in Baltimore with Gary Kubiak and Mark Trestman, but however, the transition has not carried on. So Drew Lock has come in, sitting for a couple of weeks, and he's looked outstanding.
They lose Emmanuel Sanders, Noah Fant playing well lately. Cortland Sutton's been a stud out of SMU, second-year wide receiver. He's looked great all year.
Absolutely, and give Rich Gangarello, the offensive coordinator, some credit for what he's doing. You mentioned Joe Flacco. Well, he's a pocket passer. He can't move the pocket. Drew Luck can move the pocket. He's mobile, and what I like about him, he keeps his vision down the court. He doesn't stay locked in on the one receiver, Cortland Sutton. He hit 10 different receivers last week. He threw for 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown by Phillip Lindsay. But his ability to make plays out of the pocket, he's accurate down the field. He makes good decisions, and he gets rid of the football. So that gives you a different game plan, which a lot of defenses aren't ready for. So I like this offense. I think it'll be tough sledding today in Kansas City, but this is the divisional game, and we know how these divisional games go.
They pull off the upset on the road, taking down the Texans a week ago. We'll see if they can do it today. And this is an emotionally charged game for Drew Lock. We should mention he's from Lee Summit, Missouri, about 15 miles from Arrowhead Stadium. He went to high school here. He went to the University of Missouri, where I went. I know that he had at his hotel, team hotel, hundreds of Missouri fans in Mizzou here waiting to get autographs from him just last night. They are here in full force, and I feel like if they get the win, if it comes close, this could be the ignition of a rivalry in the AFC West, one that we've been looking for a long time. Also, really weird connection. His dad went to Mizzou also in the late 1980s, and guess who his offensive line coach was? As he was an offensive lineman.
Let me guess, Andy Reid?
It was Andy Reid. Isn't that wild? Lots of storylines to follow here. I'll try to make a better snowball next time as we throw it over to our guy, James Palmer, inside.
Well, thanks, Kay. This week in Kansas City, I had a long talk with Chief Safety Tyrann Mathieu, who played for the Texans last year, and he told me that in his mind, Houston overlooked rookie quarterback Drew Lock and came in unprepared. He told me it reminded him of a game back in 2015, Week 6, when he was with the Arizona Cardinals, going against Landry Jones with the Steelers. He told me they coasted through practice that week. Jones ended up beating them later on Sunday. He told me he would never forget that game, and he has told all of his teammates this week that they are not going to overlook Drew Lock. They are going to be prepared for the rookie quarterback making his 3rd NFL start. Now let's go to Mike Giardi in Cincinnati.
Thank you, James. This has been a physical grind for Julian Edelman this season. It started with a chest and rib injury, followed up by a shoulder injury that still prevents him from lifting his hands over his head consistently. And now the latest, an injury suffered on Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs, a tendon injury in that left leg that has led to nearly around-the-clock treatment to get Edelman ready to play the game. He missed practice on Wednesday. Thursday and Friday he was limited, but he spent time with the team doctors and also with Alex Guerrero, who's Tom Brady's personal doctor at TB12. Not an easy road for Julian Edelman this year, but 90 catches and 1,010 yards. Now let's send it over to Ian Rappaport with the latest on the investigation the league into the Patriots.
Well, thanks, Giardi. Roger Goodell said on Wednesday there's no timetable for the league to wrap this up, but they've basically done all the interviews. So you would think there's a chance it is done this week. And really, this is a discussion about motive because the facts are not in dispute. The Patriots did it. They've said they did it. They had one of their videographers set up a tripod in front of Bengals scouts in the press box, left it running, and filmed the Bengals sideline for about 8 minutes. The contention from the Patriots is that no football people had any knowledge of this. Meanwhile, the Bengals do have a copy of that tape. They are furious. They would like the Patriots punished. As far as possible punishments, Rich, I'm told all options are on the table, including a potential hefty fine, but no decision has been made on that yet.
All right, Ian, thanks very much for waiting on a decision on a handful of players prior to the game going. We know Juju's out for tonight. We expect to see James Conner, Derrick Henry, and Josh Jacobs. Good luck to all of you who rode some of those players to your playoffs in fantasy. There's Tom Brady looking all 007 like TB12 out there in Cincinnati, to which the team is moving.
Still to come.
I'm here to play fast, play physical, be a playmaker.
And a playmaker he has been. Minkah Fitzpatrick opens up about the trade that turned the Steelers' season around. Plus, Kurt and Irv show how the Niners' biggest stars have them on the road to gold.
George Kittle down the sideline, runs by a man, stiff arms a man.
Football 101 is up next on NFL Game Day Morning.
Take the edge off after those. It's part of my way of kicking off hour 2 by saying it's not too early to jack around with you. These are a phrase that I heard on the radio. Rich Eisen, Steve Mariucci, Kurt Warner, and my Cowboy wearing Rams colors to try and offset a 3-game losing streak. Sitting there at the end of the set. Okay.
Everybody got to do what they got to do.
I don't know. I honestly thought this was a 12-win team that was going to dominate the NFC East.